Back here at home, we're learning the Cincinnati Northern Kentucky International Airport, or CVG, is one of 40 airports nationwide now impacted by the new air traffic reductions beginning today. And you can see live shots from across the country beside us this morning.
Yeah, and it's including Reagan National Airport, Atlanta International Airport, and Chicago O'Hare International Airport.
The changes come as flight delays and cancellations continue to grow, driven by staffing shortages tied to the government shutdown.
Our Cincinnati sister station's Katie Amrine takes a closer look at how these cuts could affect travelers right here in the Buckeye State.
Flight cancellations and delays are an inconvenience for everyone, but it can be especially difficult for those flying internationally. Felipe Brown is going home to Brazil after a business trip and is hoping his connecting flights are on time.
The second flight is overseas, so it's a long flight and everything. So if this first one gets delayed and I cannot board in time for my second flight, it's going to be overnight. I have to go somewhere to stay the night and see if I can go for the next day. So it's not an easy thing to replace this flight with the next one.
The same can be said for Hogla Mutombo and her father, who are headed to their home country of the Congo.
It's going to be an inconvenience for me because, well, I'm personally going back to my home country for my grandmother's funeral. And if it happens to be canceled or delayed, I can't be at the funeral and participate because I'm going to honor my grandmother. And if that happens, then I can't be there, and it's really going to upset me.
According to CBS News, the Federal Aviation Administration plans to gradually cut about 10% of the flights at 40 airports beginning tomorrow. CBS has learned CVG is one of those airports.
When we have a massive snowstorm, just as an example, I mean, they might cancel 1,000 flights. And it takes 3 days for the air system to recuperate from that. I can't imagine if this goes too much longer, how it's going to impact a lot of people's travel plans.
Travel agent and owner of First Discount Travel in Blue Ash, Jerry Katz, says news of the reductions has a lot of his clients concerned about their flights out of Cincinnati. Some advice he's given folks is to download their airline's app to stay on top of their flight status. He also suggests not only getting to the airport earlier than normal, but booking a longer stay.
Pack knowing that you might get stuck in your destination an extra day. If you have something that's critically important, whether it be a business meeting, whether it be a family wedding that you want to be there, go ahead and buffer it. Add an extra day to your trip. Get out there a day early just to make sure if your flight is canceled, you'll have more options.
We're also learning several airlines have preemptively canceled several flights, including some here at Dayton International as well. Now this, as a 10% reduction in air traffic at 40 airports begins this morning. United Airlines announcing cancellations roughly 200 flights today. That breaks down to about 4% of the carrier's planned schedule. Delta Airlines also canceling around 170 regional and mainline flights for today. Southwest will cancel about 100, and American is planning to reduce its schedule by more than 200 flights daily from today to Monday.
And of course, if you're flying this weekend, we wanted to share some tips with you here at the Live Desk. Experts say people leaving for a trip within the next 10 days should keep an eye on their airline's app for changes. They say carriers likely will try to preserve their hub-to-hub operations and cut regional flights instead.
It may not be a bad idea to delay travel if it's non-essential, or if you're in a smaller city, perhaps to drive to one of the larger hubs if it's close by. And also consider buying a backup ticket.
Several airlines are letting passengers change their flights for free. The law requires them to issue refunds for cancellations, but they're unlikely to reimburse stranded passengers for hotels or meals. For people planning to buy tickets soon, experts suggest booking with airlines directly. They say that makes it easier to change flights. They also recommend avoiding layovers if possible. Now, the Transportation Secretary says to start bracing for Thanksgiving impacts now if the government stays closed.